Hi, Democrats. Today is Wednesday, October 30th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. It's a little late for the Chair's Daily Live, but that's where we are all the same. So all week we've been talking about making your plan to vote. Make your plan to vote. So I made a plan. I had my absentee ballot, but I like voting with the people, right? And so I decided I was going to go do my radio interview because it was so close to the election board and then go in and vote. Wow. So I did my radio interview. I went over to the election board, and the line was around the building and down the street. I had so many other things going on today. I did not have the time to do that. So I thought, you know what? You still want to vote. So I drove out to our new location that's out east, 1200 East Skelly Drive. I am in Tulsa County. I'm a Tulsa County voter. That line was even longer, and the parking was crazy. Though that thwarted my plan to vote today. What I will say is I am so excited. I'm so excited to see so many people exercising their franchise, exercising their right to vote, getting out there and voting. So if you haven't made plans and you haven't talked to your employer about your plan to vote, I'm telling you, you're probably going to have to wait in line. So it's incredibly important that you make your plan, allow some time, which I didn't do because I'm so used to just getting in and getting out. Make a plan, allow yourself some time, and get out there and vote. Take somebody with you because you might be standing in line, and it might be it might be a long line. So you might want to chit chat with somebody you know. Make a plan. Make a plan. In Oklahoma City, someone sent me a picture. Oklahoma City, it's all across the parking lot and across Lincoln. It is crazy, which makes me excited. I've seen pictures from Cleveland County. I've seen pictures from all over the state, and it looks like everybody wants to be a part of the early voting. Oklahoma starts our early voting. We are the last state to start early voting in person. So I think that a lot of people are motivated. Because every day you turn on the TV and they're telling you Pennsylvania is voting early. Georgia has set records for early voting. This state is early voting. And we've just been like, come on, come on. And now that early voting is open, Oklahomans are out there. And it's Oklahomans in all stripes. So back in the past, you knew for the most part, if it was early voting, it was one of us. But now everybody's kind of gotten the hang of it. Everybody's out there early voting. You got to get out there and make sure that your voice is heard. So in Tulsa, we have two locations, right? 555 North Denver and 12000 East Skelly Drive, out there across the street from East Central. We got a couple of places that we can vote. Get out there and vote. All righty. So last night, the vice president made her closing argument for why we should vote for her. And it was an amazing speech. And I watched it with Democrats from all across the state on a Zoom that we had. It was an amazing speech. And I thought, okay, that's her closing argument. And then she made a speech today. And it was also amazing. She drew a great contrast between her and the other guy who really shouldn't be on our ballot. This race should not be as close as it is. But because it's this close, we all need to get out there. So for the last month, we've been hearing it's all about the economy and people don't trust Democrats with the economy. And if she's so good for the economy, why is the economy where it is? Listen here. The economy in the last month has improved by 2.8%. I don't know what that means, but what I'm hearing is the economy has improved, right? The jobs report, it's on track that we're going to add between 120 and 130,000 jobs, which is what they predicted. It's a lot less jobs than September, but it's the amount of jobs that they predicted, and it's not. It's been affected by the hurricanes and the fires, and that kind of shifts how people are job hunting or have jobs. But we added jobs. And that's the most important thing to remember, is that we've continuously added jobs month over month over month. Unemployment is at 4.1%, which is awesome. Our economy is doing well. And there's a Democrat president. We have a Democratic president in office, and all the people who are saying that we can't be trusted with the economy is booming. We have the best economy we've had in 50 years. And we are the leader in economy. The only country that has a better economy than us is China. And you know what they go through to make that happen. We have an amazing economy. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe that Democrats can't handle the economy, because we are in great shape. So if you're early voting, and this is all coming back to voting. If you're early voting, you have until 6 today. It's 5:01. You have 59 minutes to get out there, get in line and vote. And then tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, the early voting places are open between 8 and 6. Figure out where that is in your county. And then on Saturday, it's between 8 and 2. If you can't make it in any of those times, you can always vote on the day of, and that's Tuesday the 5th from 7 to 7. If you have a kind of job where you have to coordinate time off with your boss, you still have time to do that. Make sure that you make your voice heard. Oh, look at all the people who voted today. Thank you, Wednesday. Thank you, Wednesday, for voting. It was so great. Debbie, I hope that you're voting. Donald, I hope that you're telling me about the lines, because you were there. So glad to see that you voted today, Linda. We all have to get out there. We have to dispel the myth that Oklahomans don't vote. We have to dispel the myth that Democrats don't vote. So all the things that people were wondering, why can't we vote? Well, the economy is good, right? She has articulated plans. She has the most experience of any president that we've ever had. She has so much experience that she has more experience than Trump, W, Clinton combined. That's how much experience she has. She is capable. She is qualified. She needs to be our next president, and we have to show up and make it happen. Now, I spent a lot of time talking about the vice president and hopefully our future president, but please complete your entire ballot. It's a long one this year. It's a front and back, and if you have municipal, it's another page. Complete your entire ballot. So we have the president, we have a whole bunch of judges, we have a couple of state questions, and depending on what county, you might have other things. I live in Tulsa, and we have a mayor's race. There is a lot of stuff to vote for. I forgot Congress, and in most of the state, we have Congress. So please do your research, vote the entire ballot. There's a lot at stake, and you can't just show up and color in the single part, the straight party. Don't do that, Jazz, because you'll skip the judges and you'll skip the state questions. With regards to the 3 judges that we've seen all the commercials about, right? I've gotten a lot of questions, both through calls and texts and Facebook messages and even Twitter. People asking me how to vote on the 3 judges that you've gotten flyers and seen the TV commercials about. My answer is always very simple. My answer is, they're up to something if they're spending money to tell you what to do. They're spending money to tell you to not retain those judges, and they're calling them extreme liberal judges. That tells you who's paying for the commercials. That tells you what they want. And here's what they want. They want to control the judiciary and make sure that their picks are who serves in our Supreme Court. Right now, there are the 3 judges that they're talking about were appointed by Democrat governors. So what? Well, here's why. So what? They're the last, or they're 4. So they're 3 of the 4. What they want to do is control the Supreme Court and make sure that Governor Stitt gets to pick, and so that he can pick the most extreme judges. And here's why it's important. Reproductive justice being pushed back to the state, our state Supreme Court. Tribal sovereignty is an issue being handled at our state Supreme Court. The run over the protester bills was a state Supreme Court. The don't teach full history, state Supreme Court. They are trying, and likely these judges put up a fight, asked too many questions, and now they want to replace it with judges who will do what they want done. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. And so what we have to do is make sure that we have disparate voices on our Supreme Court. We need more folks on our Supreme Court who will question, who will make sure that we're all represented. And so it's really important that you do your research. If you're wondering how to do your research, you can go out to iwillvote.com, print out your sample ballot, and then research it all the way down. you can, and I'm telling you to print it out. And I know that a lot of people under 40 don't own printers because I guess that's an old person thing to do. Find a place to print it out. You can print it out at work, right? Print it out, color in what you want, and you can take that as a cheat sheet because it's long. You don't want to be in there that long. Color it in as a cheat sheet. You can take that in with you to vote. That's how you do research. And if you don't know the answer, call people you know and trust. Call people you know and trust and ask them. There's a question about, is abortion on our ballot? Abortion per se is not on our ballot. Abortion is on our ballot with retention of these Supreme Court justices. But there will not be a question about abortion on our ballot. But if you want to save women's reproductive rights, you vote to retain those judges, and you make sure that you vote for your state house, your state senate, because those are the people who are going to be deciding it first before it goes to the Supreme Court, the Oklahoma Supreme Court. We have to participate at all levels. All levels come into play in our lives. All right. Thank you guys for joining me so much. I'm going to try to get back on time, get back on a schedule. But what I've decided is I'm hopping on whenever I get an opportunity to let you guys know that I am back. We are at 6 days before this election. We need to be talking about it. We need to be making sure that everybody we know knows that we're 6 days out and that they have a plan and that they show up, because we don't want to wake up on the day after the announcement. So there's the election where we'll know everything that happens statewide. We don't know. With the burning of the ballot boxes and Virginia changing the laws at the last minute and all those things, we don't know when we're going to know about president. But you don't want to, on the day that they announce, wish that you would have done something else. You don't want to do that. So I'm asking you to go out and do everything you can. It's not too late to volunteer for a shift to door knock, to make some phone calls, or just to call people in your phone. It's not too late. There's still some things that you could be doing. Do everything you can. Leave it on the field. All right, guys, have a great night, and I'll be back here tomorrow. I'm going to try for 4:15. Thanks.